His assignment was given. He understood the challenge and knew what he was up against. He speaks to a people who had been bewitched by someone that should have been leading them in proper direction. He deals with the people who have opened themselves up to a culture that God had never intended for them to find themselves involved with. He deals with the people who have allowed themselves to be distracted by the voice of someone who had the authority to lead them in godliness, understanding that when God deals with the thing, it becomes the way he wants it. It is a theocracy. It has absolutely nothing to do with your voice, your vote, or your thoughts. It has absolutely nothing to do with whether you like it or not. He does not ask for your permission. He does not ask for you to sanction it. He does not ask for you to get in a crowd and whisper and try to undermine it. When God says it, that's it. When God speaks it, that is it. That is absolutely no negotiation. There is no negotiation about what God says. There is absolutely no negotiation. He does not need your willingness. In fact, I want to remind for every naysayer, he has a crack addict that will submit themselves to whatever he says. He is not concerned about what makes you happy. Could it be that God is not concerned about what makes us happy? He is concerned about what makes us a holy people. Scoot near somebody and say, God is not concerned with what makes you happy. Scoot near somebody else and say, what God is concerned is what makes you holy unto him. What will make you a holy nation and what will give him the glory is what he is concerned about. We have become a society that has tried to move with the status quo. Now you asked me to come, so I've looked at this text. I've dissected this text. I have handled this text. And I have asked God, speak to me concerning this text. What makes me happy is what we are hungry for. But Elijah was hungry for what made God satisfied. What gave God the glory in our lives is what Elijah found himself acclimating to. Elijah stood at a time, at a precipice, an hour that Ahab had corrupted Israel. He had corrupted Israel to the point that he had permitted Israel to find themselves involved with idolatry. He has permitted idolatry to enter the camp. Come on, y'all, talk to me. He has even sanctioned idolatry to some degree. He permits his wife to erect statues and to build monuments, and he has allowed them to welcome in a God that had absolutely nothing to do with them filtering in and living. He has allowed them to be taken to the point that now they have started relying on a fertility God rather than the Elohim. How is it that you can expect a statue to provide strength and hope for you when they have eyes and cannot see? I promise you, I won't use all these notes today. I'll have to deal with this another time. How is it that you depend upon something that has absolutely no ability to keep you? How can you be so moved and so attracted to something that cannot even offer you an answer to prayer? But now here we are dealing with a society that wants feelings but don't want change. I don't have no help in the Lord's church at 12 o'clock this afternoon. It's 1:30. Here we are dealing with a society that wants church but don't want God. He said that Elijah now must deal with Ahab. He must confront Ahab. And I want to challenge you as preachers and leaders. How many preachers are in the house? You have to be able to confront. Come on, preachers and elders and deacons, you have an assignment. How many of you know that God has kept you alive for such a reason and a time like this? You must be willing to confront your Ahabs. Grab somebody and say, neighbor, you got to be willing to confront Ahab. He has to confront the king. Now, what I like about it, preachers and teachers, y'all stay with me. What I like about it is that Ahab understands his position, but Elijah understands his assignment. Oh my God, I'm looking at y'all, y'all tired. Y'all ain't ready for me. When I find hunger, it pushes me further than I would normally go. But Ahab understood his position, but Elijah understood his assignment. I'm not trying to move you out of your position. I just want to be a mouthpiece to speak according to my assignment. He had absolutely no desire to be the ace coon buddy in the park. He had no underlying agenda. He was not trying to undermine the authority of the king. You have to be careful. You have to be careful that you don't put yourself in a position to start wanting position rather than being hungry for your assignment. You cannot be hungry for assignment because assignments change. I wish I had somebody to help me stay there. Look at somebody and say, neighbor, you got to understand. Assignments change. Pull on them and say, you may have an assignment today. I ain't talking to nobody. Pull on them and say, you may have an assignment today. But you got to be willing. If the assignment changes, can God still trust you to understand your purpose?
My God, you're preaching.
Elijah does not want to be king.
You preaching, Bishop.
For everybody that wants to sit in the high seat. High seat is not always a comfortable seat. It is called literally, I'm moving. I can't deal with all these notes today. He is literally called to deal with the king who is an energetic warrior. He's called to deal with the king who is the seventh king of Israel. Apostle Ross, he was victorious over Syria. And he was so victorious until he was able to extend the border borders of his kingdom straight out to the borders of Damascus. He became wealthy. His position brought him wealth. It put him in a place of wealth and authority. He built for himself an ivory palace which represented his wealth. He was a wealthy somebody. He had success. He made himself successful. But yet his success made him greedy. Stay with me, somebody. He became greedy. He became selfish. He became haughty. He got the big head. He got to the place that now he has a position and he could not submit himself enough to understand he needed to feel the people. Oh my God. You cannot become so obsessed with your position that now you walk on God's people. You cannot become so obsessed with your position until you mishandle God's people. I want to report to y'all something. Not only does God take care of his prophet, and not only does he take care of his apostle and his shepherd, but you'll move God's hand quicker when you desecrate his people. And for all of you that use that scripture and that text, that touch not my prophet and do my servants no harm, I want to report to you that God will kill you quicker for misleading his people than his prophet. He always has. You all look at somebody and say, I'm special in the eyes of God.